Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Fair Chance Trader. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. I do want to start this off with saying, hey, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, I do want to talk about the market, but I do want to chat about the FOMC, so let's dive into it. So the FOMC today, we were waiting on that 2:30, and then Jerome Powell, which actually drug on a little longer than normal, but they had some good hidden questions for him today. Which is definitely key to understand how he's approaching, going forward. Of course, you want the market obviously to grow, but you don't want to take the brakes off too fast and then everything come crumbling, So I understand where he's at. He's in a tough spot. But the market basically kind of just stayed flat for the most part. I mean, literally 0.45 down 0.45%, $2.71. Nothing. And nothing crazy. The market just did this all up and down right quick, but it really wasn't nothing too much. But I think that's because earnings. And here you see. I don't know why I highlighted that, sorry. But, you got Tesla coming out tonight, Microsoft, Meta, IBM, and so on and so forth. Good earnings that are worth looking into. Well, let's see. Tesla overnight already up almost 5%, 4.5%, $17.60. Let's see Meta. Up another $16.58 right there to 2.45% in half the hours. What was the other big earnings we were looking at? Microsoft. Ooh, Microsoft. Well, they are dealing with AI and the DeepSeek stuff that's going on right now, so I can understand that one right now with their earnings. So that might be a tough one there. Let's see, does it show anything overall with the SPY right quick? So overall SPY is up, 0.37 overnight and up $2.20, basically almost flat for now for the entire day, which is good. It's good leading into tomorrow, helping us understand where is the momentum going to go. And it really depends on a lot of things. I'm hoping that if the SPY can probably push, let's see right now, if it can make a strong push and hold over 602.50, I think then it can make its efforts to around 605. Granted, we will have a little bit of toughness right there, but if we can break past 605, 605.50 basically, we can actually hope to shoot for maybe 608 to 610, maybe end of week to leading into the start of next week, potentially. If not, there's the reverse of this. What else could happen? We could end up having another sell-off, something coming up more depending on news and everything. Could come down. I could see it coming back to retesting about 598. I think it was about 598. What was it? 598.50 to that 575.50 range. And if we fell there, we could come back down even further, filling that little gap fill right here, and going right back down to about 594. Granted, I'm thinking that's not going to happen with what's going on. We got the pause and everything. So that's something to keep on your radar, though. Can happen. Not thinking it will. Look at the selling pressure right here. Low volume. Bigger green candles here on these buying days. So that's good to note with the SPY. It holds up. Obviously, with Tesla up and the other markets up, that's going to help with the SPY and everything. But let's dive into some key things everyone was talking about, because I realized last time I forgot to talk about AMC. So we're going to go ahead and dive into AMC first. So first thing first, AMC. Here, right now, we're at 321. It's really tough to say. After hours, I think we were at like 323, maybe 322. Let me see. Did it go up a little bit? It did. It did go up to 323. You got a lot of open activity in the options market for it. Granted, it's very, very cheap. The IV is extremely cheap. I mean, you could literally bet $5 and get 5 contracts for the $5 call for weeklies, and like later on is, I mean, it's cheap. Granted, highly unlikely happening, but could be that odd, black swan event there. Something could happen. Key thing here I'm pointing out is AMC, if it doesn't hold 320 and start making this grind back up, we could potentially see a drop almost down to 310 to the $3 range. Worst case scenario, probably the 290 range. And then we could be potentially testing the all-time lows. Granted, I don't think that would be the case. I think if anything, if we did come down, which would be a healthier thing, I guess, for AMC a little bit, it could potentially have a come down, bounce, boom. I do think AMC has potential. It's building up. Dilution happened, I mean, look at the stock price right here. We were building up so good momentum. Volume coming in. Look at that green counter right there. Boom. I want to do dilution. Stock came right back down. If we can maintain without dilution, I feel like this can build up momentum again to maybe once get to this $5, $6, maybe even higher and higher. I would hope to see that if we can retest that to that 350 range, maybe get into that $3.50 by the end of the week, to hopefully, on the high case scenario, get to that 380 range here. But I'm thinking 350 will be the range. It is max pain for this week, so I'm thinking there is going to be a little pump up for AMC a little bit. But if we can actually push up past 350 and go into 380, even if we somehow hit 4, I think there's a chance leading into the following week, pushing towards the 5, and maybe hitting to the, let's see. Zoom out. Oh, there we go, zoom out a little bit. What was the 550 range? Yep, 550. If we can push to the 550 and hold past that and push through that, I think our next area will be about $6 that we're going to have an issue. I would say lead into about that $7 range right here, that $7.50. If we could push past that, I mean, we got a big gap right here. I mean, we could really shoot for 1180, then it can go all back to old school. Granted, you have a big gap fill right here. From 1650 all the way to 1950 that could get filled if it shoots all the way past. Granted, it's high hopes, could be later on, who knows if it even happens. Just remember, not financial advice, educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, but I just want to put that on your radar. Another stock I really quickly want to talk about is NVIDIA. NVIDIA right now, let's see how it's doing in the after hours. Okay, NVIDIA. Oof, down overnight, but I don't think that's too bad for NVIDIA. The struggle we're having here is very simple. Let me bring it down to the daily. Spread, oh, wrong way. Spread that out a little bit that way. There we go. Alright. So we really didn't make that strong push up that I was hoping for, to that 130-ish range. But we did hold and not go lower than yesterday. And when we got back right here, we got bought right back up. And everything went well. Everything went back up and well. I think NVIDIA could potentially see even a stronger pullback, maybe to the 120 range here, and could potentially come back down to that 118, 120 before seeing a bounce, or could get a bounce in the market, in the pre-market, based off of the earnings that happened tonight, going off like a shared bounce with each other, where it could get a push up back to that 126 to 128. It's two things to watch. I would pay attention to how the pre-market really plays to kind of determine what you think is about to happen and everything. And from there, you will determine more. Sorry, I know this is kind of not 100% planned here. I have to get my stuff set up, and I worked late tonight, so I'm just trying to give you a brief rundown. Real quick, we'll go over BlackBerry. BlackBerry held strong, honestly. It made a strong push yesterday, held strong from where it made that push with the sell-off that kind of happened today, and then I'm thinking BlackBerry could have a potential going back to that $4.80 to $5 range easily over the course of the next, look at it. Just look at it. Up, over a little bit for the week, up, consolidate for the week, let's go up, consolidate for the week, up, consolidate, up. BlackBerry is holding strong and doing something right here. Something's going on in the background and people are knowing about it. Something to keep a radar on, just saying. But lastly, we're going to get into one of my favorite stocks here, GME. Something good to talk about. One thing is the circulating float is, I believe, 372 million shares. I do believe. I don't know if it tells me exactly right here. Or 408 million. 408.87 million shares. Look how many shares we traded today. 3.22 million. We didn't even trade 1% of our shares. That's crazy to me, compared to all the volume that's always been in here. And that's telling me something, that something's coming. It's just dialing it down. Look right here. Before you have big jumps, kind of dial down, low volume. We got low volume. Could it be like a little cup? Then a little, maybe like I don't know if I could say that, cup. Or no, maybe cup and handle. No, I don't see that there. I do see a little, kind of like a boot going on here, though. A little like, let's kick you up kind of pattern. But granted, I do think if GME shoots past 2750, where it's currently at, which I think after hours is actually up a little bit. Let's pull that up right fast. Woo, 2778, nice, up a little bit, nice. So I think if GME makes a strong push and pushes past 2850 and holds with strong volume, I think a push to 30, even to 32, would be very, very reliable over the course of the next couple weeks. GME's done some crazy stuff. Could happen overnight, could happen over the course of a month, a week. GME has, but based off some news I have right now that I will show off with y'all in a minute, I'm thinking it's going to pick up some volume a little bit and make that strong push to 30 to 32. And if we can hold over that, I don't think it's going to drop back down below 30 anymore, and it's going to continue higher. But one key thing that someone's pointing out on Twitter, everyone needs to know that. Look at Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GME, has taken his shares and basically transferred all his shares from his RC Ventures to himself, to where he has access to them now, officially. It has everything. You got momentum building up, people saying push the button, everything going on, people are wanting to build up the pressure. I'm thinking something big can happen for GME. Something big can come. That's, obviously not financial advice. I'm just giving you my opinion. And lastly, with Bitcoin, I do believe Bitcoin is going to be this own thing based off the market. It's going to stop following based on the market soon, I think, over the next couple years. But for me, as long as we can make a strong push over that 105 and hold, I see a potential of going back to that 107, 108 and pushing for all-time highs over the next course of a month, maybe even a course of honestly, over the next week, honestly. If not, I do see us coming back down to probably retest that 100K. If we fall below that, we could come back down to about 97.5 to 95. I highly doubt that would be possible, but it can happen. I'm thinking that either it's going to be that retest of 100K or that push to new all-time highs soon over the next week. Lastly, I do want to briefly go over XRP for anyone who is curious about XRP and how it is doing. Let's see how it is doing. XRP, $3.10, doing nice, having a nice consolidation here, just building up a little pennant going here, a little pennant building right here. I mean, I'm feeling like right about, I'm feeling something coming soon for XRP, depending on how the market's, well, I guess how Bitcoin does. We'll see. If Bitcoin tests for all-time highs, I see XRP shooting for that $4 range really quickly soon. Because you got a lot of buyers consolidating, holding strong because they're not wanting to sell. I mean, things are building up. I think we can make a shoot for that $3.50 to $4 range shortly. And I think that would be possible. If not, I do see us coming back down, maybe retesting about $2.85, $2.85 to $2.75. But I don't think we're really gonna. If we have that fall down back to there, that's a great buy the dip opportunity in my opinion, because I believe it's gonna go just slingshot from there basically. If it does have a pullback and then a boom. But for anyone watching, thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button, and tell me in the comments the things you want me to talk about, stocks, things I can actually go in depth on. I do want to go in depth talking about options trading. Then everyone kind of understand it on a more understandable level, if that makes sense, to where you aren't confused on a lot of the jargon, and I can actually explain it detailedly to where you can comprehend it, anyone can comprehend it, and make it easy for everyone to understand. Other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Y'all take it easy. Stay tuned. Fair Chance Trader heading out.